What up, y'all? Welcome back to my channel. I'm Adam Kowski, aka for short, and welcome to another edition of my top 10.
1, 2, skip a few, 10.
The subject of this video was on a poll on both my Instagram and Facebook. Here is my Instagram, and it looks like we're going to talk about my top 10 guilty displeasures. What are they? Well, they're popular movies that a lot of people like, but I don't. I'm not saying these are the worst movies of all time. I'm not saying that if you like these movies, you don't have good taste. It just means I have better taste. Now, there's no particular order. I'm not going to grade these. I'm just going to give a quick opinion why I didn't care for these movies as much as everyone else. Also, when you see a movie you like on here, or if you do, don't come after me and try to kill me. Just know this. These are popular movies. Movies that a lot of people like that I don't. I'm just one person with one opinion. So y'all already won the argument. Without further ado, let's start off with number 10. Avengers Endgame. I really like Infinity War. Endgame, I got really hyped up for. I saw it in theaters, pretty much like everybody else, and I was really underwhelmed. Like, I didn't really get into the movie until the final battle, which is probably everybody's favorite part, but I just didn't like all the other stuff as much. There's good stuff, of course, and I like these characters, I like these actors. Just the whole, I didn't like. And a lot of things people were laughing at. I didn't like things like Thor looking like the Big Lebowski. I didn't like Mark Ruffalo having more control of the Hulk. Like, while everyone's there laughing their butt off, I'm just sitting there going, this isn't funny. But I do like the final battle. It's big, it's epic, but it does have maybe a few nitpicks. For example, when Captain America goes, Avengers, assemble. I can imagine a lot of them, like all the other Avengers in the back going, what did he say? I just wanted something like maybe like right before they start running to each other to battle, he could have been, Avengers, assemble! Something like that. Not over the top and not poorly acted like me, but something like that. But that's why it's low on the list, because I do like it a little bit, just not as much as everybody else. At number 9, The Amazing Spiderman. The Amazing Spider-Man 2, did not like, and I was going to put this one on the list. But a lot more people dislike that movie more than they like that one, from what I've heard. The Amazing Spider-Man was ambitious. I was really looking forward to it, and I watched it a couple of times, but after a couple of watches, I figured out what the problems were. Everyone knows from my first video that I love the first Spider-Man. I love the Sam Raimi Spider-Man. And I would rather watch Spider-Man 3 over this one. I know, but I just do. There's, every time they do a particular scene, I just went, they did that in the first movie. And yeah, you know, there's multiple versions of the Spider-Man origin story, any comic book story, or any story for that matter. That's why there's a point of remake, reboot, and such, to give a different point of view, or mix things up a little bit. But I just couldn't be invested. Andrew Garfield is fine as Spider-Man, but it's Peter Parker himself in this that I don't like. I don't like that he's a skateboarding kind of punkish kid. That's not who I think of Peter Parker. And if they're trying to make it hip and fresh for the new young crowd, this isn't the way to do it. Coming in at number 8, Dead Poets Society. I will not disagree that this is a well-made movie. It's well acted and such. It has a good production. Robin Williams is great as always, but this is just a mean movie for me. It's a story about these boys at this big boarding school, and the professors and their parents are telling them to be this, but Robin Williams is saying be whatever you want. That's a story that's been done millions of times, but I actually like these kind of stories. But I cannot watch this movie. I've seen it twice and I hated it both times. The character I hate the most is the father, Mr. Perry, played by Kurtwood Smith. Now, he's a great actor. I love him, but his character in this movie, he plays it off like he's good. Man, you just want to punch this guy. I really think he's one of the main reasons I can't watch this movie. Because that's how much I hate the character. I really don't have much to say about this one, honestly. It's just a quick opinion, but yeah, Dead Poet Society. Not a fan. At number 7, we have a real classic from the 50s here, Rebel Without a Cause. Pretty much, I would have put in all 3 James Dean movies on here because I don't think they're that great of movies. They are classics because a lot of people do like them, and I see why. But James Dean is just not as big as an icon to me as that everyone else thinks. He has a look. I'm sure he has a bit of charisma as a person, but on screen, he just didn't do it for me. I thought the scene where he has to go, "You're tearing me apart," was so overly dramatic, and I'm all, really? That was the best take they got, and I think he was drunk or something in the movie. I can't remember exactly, but that's another thing. I just don't remember much that goes on in his movies. I've seen them a couple of times, yeah, but I just didn't. They're not movies I like to go back to. Not that I think they're particularly bad. I just don't find them all that great. And everyone says that he was the rebellious teenager at that time in the movies. Really, when I think of a rebellious actor from the 50s, I think of Marlon Brando, the wild one. So, sorry, James Dean, his movies don't do it for me. Right at number 6, Titanic. This is a movie that's usually put on lists where people say, I don't like this movie, but everyone else loves it, and people say it's the greatest movie of all time, or one of them, and I'm on that list. I'm on that boat too. I did not care for this movie. I can watch it from maybe the beginning to after Jack saves Rose from trying to jump off the boat, but it's a nice looking movie. The production's big and such, and I love James Cameron's movies. Ugh. But Titanic, every time I try to watch it, I fall asleep right after the point I told you about. It's like that scene in King Kong where they're on the boat for like an hour, but it's stretched up 4 more hours and such. Also, much like James Dean, I'm not a Leonardo DiCaprio fan. Almost every movie that I watch with him, and if I like it, it's not because of him I like the movie, or he's one of my least favorite parts. The Reverend, I like Tom Hardy in that one. The Aviator, I love Katharine Hepburn. Well, yeah, that's the character, but I love Cate Blanchett. She's fantastic in that movie. Leonardo DiCaprio is just mediocre. As is Titanic. It's a big movie, as big as James Cameron's ego. Halfway there, at number 5, the True Grit remake. A lot of people said this is a lot better than the John Wayne version, and I love John Wayne. And I just saw a pretty picture. The cinematography is great, and it's acted well, but I just don't think it is that good of a remake. That's all I really see it. It's just a remake. They say it's closer to the book, but you know, I don't care if it's closer to the book. Only to a certain point where that bothers me. And you know, I can tell what words they were taken from the first movie and put them in different places, and you could tell where they took scenes from the first movie, the original movie, and you know, put them together to make the movie a little shorter, scenes go quicker. And the cinematography is fantastic, and the acting's fine, but I just don't think any of them have the charisma as the other actors do. Like, I can never find Matt Damon as a cowboy Texas guy. And I'm from Texas. I just think it's a pretty movie. That's it. At number 4, Star Wars: The Rise of Skywalker. At first I didn't know if this was a movie I could put on here because it is a very polarized movie. Critics didn't like it, hardcore Star Wars fans didn't like it or loved it. But I've had talked to a lot of people who said they liked the movie. A lot more than I've heard they didn't like it. Outside of reviews and YouTube videos, so I'm going to put it on this list. To be honest, this is my least favorite Star Wars movie. Less than Attack of the Clones. I'm going to get a lot of hate for that, I know, but I could just feel the writers just writing it as they go throughout production. And it's kind of like The Hobbit 3. It's shorter, so it just feels rushed compared to all the other movies. And a lot of the choices they make, especially the ending, my reaction was, I rolled my eyes so many times I literally thought I was going to become the Undertaker. So yeah, my least favorite Star Wars movie, The Rise of Skywalker. Number 3, Precious. Winner of Best Adapted Screenplay and Best Supporting Actress. I just don't see it. But it's not just that, it's just a poorly made movie. A lot of shots and even scenes felt like music videos to me. And it also had a lot of yellowing and such. Movies can have that too, kind of give like a dirty kind of feel to it, but the way it was shot, the way it was written, even the way it was acted, I just didn't like it. I mean, the story about a girl who gets pregnant by her father twice and has to live with an abusive mother taking advantage of her, you know, that's sad and can make a compelling movie of, you know, hope and getting away from all these terrible things, like helping you get to a good life. That could be done great. And this movie is based off of memoirs by a real person, but the movie itself, I think the Oscars it won weren't really deserved. At number 2,
Mamma mia, here I go again. My, how can I resist ya? Mamma mia, does it show again? My, just how much I missed ya. Yes, I've been broken hearted.
just no. And my number 1 biggest guilty displeasure is The Jungle Book 2016. Oh my god, the visual effects, they're amazing! What else is amazing? Exactly. Every time Disney keeps making remake these classic movies and going, oh, it's closer to the original story. No, it's not. No, it is not. It's literally the exact same movie. Just maybe a few details are added, but they're not from the original story. I mean, even in Beauty and the Beast, oh, the Beast is mad just because the father picks a rose from his garden. Okay, one detail. The animals calling fire the red flower. Okay, that was mentioned once in the cartoon, but just because they say it, it doesn't mean it's closer to the story. None of these movies are closer to the story. You know, Alice in Wonderland, Cinderella, Jungle Book, Beauty and the Beast, they keep saying, oh, it'll be closer to the original source, and they're not. They're not. Okay, Alice in Wonderland and Cinderella I actually think are okay, but all these remakes I don't like. And the reason why I picked the Jungle Book for number 1 is because Jungle Book from 1967 is my personal favorite Disney movie. So I'm pretty mad when I saw this movie. I saw it 3 times in theaters, not because I wanted to see it over and over again. The first time I saw it in 3D, it gave me a headache, and I missed a few minutes of it. The second time is where I decided, yeah, I did not like this movie. And the third time is because the family wanted to go see the movie, so I tagged along. I did not enjoy it a third time. I've seen it other times on Netflix because family wanted to watch it, and I had to just sit there with this face. Unamused. I don't care if the visual effects are great. In all honesty, visual effects are getting a lot worse than ever. They can look real, the textures look real and such, but the movements and other things, we are relying so much on visual effects nowadays. And those are my top 10 guilty displeasures. What do y'all think? Do you like any of these movies? Do you agree with me that you don't like these movies at all? Is there anything I've left out that I could have possibly added? Please let me know. Thank you all for watching again. And one quick announcement. The next review will be Wonder Woman 1984. Oh boy. And that's the end of this video. Thank y'all for watching again. Please like, share, subscribe if you haven't. Leave a comment down below and leave any suggestions you would like me to talk about in future videos. Follow me on my Instagram at abomb1996. And until next time, I will see you guys later.
Mamma mia, here I go again. My, how can I resist ya? Mamma mia, does it show again?